My name is Paige Sullivan, and this is what matters to me. Being in the Freedom Writers is much more than being in a club. We could sort of be characterized as a mixed family. We all have our differences, but that is what makes us unique. We hail from the Highlands, Projects, and South End. Caucasian, Black, Latino, or Asian, skin color is the least that we could care about. The Freedom Writers believe in tolerance, and we are better people now because of that. I live a privileged life, but some of my fellow club members are not as fortunate. It breaks my heart to know what they endure, and the Freedom Writers gave them a chance to experience culture. There are some kids who have never stayed in a hotel, and the Freedom Writers allow them to experience it. Mrs. Dunn, our daring advisor, will stop at nothing to help our club. The time and effort she puts into the Freedom Writers is immense, and that makes me happy to have her as an advisor. I remember when our club was offered to go to Washington, D.C. to view the Freedom Writers documentary. The movie was extremely deep and heartfelt. All I could do was cry because these kids had undergone so much abuse and terror. It made me think of my own problem, my learning disability. For many years, I've had ADHD. I felt stupid because of it. The Freedom Writers is great for me because there are people who understand my problem. Now, I realize they are not problems, but only solutions. My solution is to be an advocate of tolerance and accept myself for who I am. Honestly, being in the Freedom Writers has made me a better person by learning to tolerate all different kinds of people, and most importantly, to accept myself.
My name is Jennifer Hough, and this is what matters to me. I believe in hope. When everything is going wrong, you have to find this one thing. This one thing we all have, even if we don't know it. This one thing is something that I strongly believe in, and this thing is hope. I believe that deep down inside, we all have hope, though at times we have a hard time finding it. Through all the tears, tragedies, and struggles, there always seems to be something that keeps you strong. This is hope. It always is there, deep down inside, whispering encouraging words in your head. Hope helps you get through any obstacle that life may put you through. We all have hope, but we all need to find it. We all need to rid ourselves of our pessimistic views of life and have a more optimistic outlook. We need to know and remember that no matter how bad your life is or how bad it seems, every cloud has its silver lining. There is always someone worse off than you, and they are always trying to find their hope deep inside themselves. With all the prejudice, violence, sexism, racism, and abuse in the world, and with all the people suffering, everyone needs hope. Hope will remind them that one day everything will change. Hope is what you need, and it's what we all need. We all deserve to know that in the end, everything will be okay. Being hopeful is one way to realize that. Hope is one small feeling that I think can change the world. One situation, one person, and one hopeful statement at a time. Good things come to those that have hope.
My name is Brianna, Leal, and this is what matters to me. Good self-esteem is important to me. I believe that people hide their true selves from the world behind a mask because we play such different roles in society just to fit in. If you really think about it, you put a mask on in front of your parents, and then you have another mask for your friends, for your family, for work, and for people that you don't really associate with on a day-to-day basis. You see, all through my childhood until this day, I never really had very good self-esteem. I think somewhat very low of myself. In high school, there is a lot of peer pressure which can either make you or break you. You can be labeled as goth if you listen to heavy metal and dress in black with big chains, or if your family is kind of tight with money and you really can't afford clothes from Hollister, American Eagle, or A&F, you'll most likely be labeled a loser. Having a label in high school gives you an immense amount of self-esteem or very poor self-esteem. It all depends. My life has not been easy. Sometimes we get picked on by the people we care about the most, our friends and our family, and they do not realize the effects of taking their words too far. Because of this, I started doing things that I knew I shouldn't do. But at the time, I didn't care. I wanted to be cool because I thought the people that I was hanging around with were my friends. I would do anything that they wanted me to do until I went on my retreat. That's when I found myself and let go of the old Brianna and found the new one. In life, people have many expectations for you, but in God's eyes, we are all loved, just the same. He doesn't care if we are rich, poor, smart, mentally challenged, short, tall, heavy, or skinny. What he really cares about is what's inside of us and that we have set our goals. He cares that we actually put forth our best effort in order to try and finish our goals. We live our lives for ourselves, not for someone else. This is how I chose to live my life, and this is what matters to me.
My name is Edith DaCosta, and this is what matters to me. Becoming yourself, a far better achievement than inventing a friendly ghost. In the spirit of Halloween, I feel inclined to bring up Casper the Friendly Ghost and insist that he is the only friendly ghost the world will ever need. It seems to me that everywhere I look, the opinion of "show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are" becomes a proven fact. I once was told that there is who people believe you to be, who you believe yourself to be, and who you actually are. I took to this one phrase for a very long time. I took the idea that one opinion and made it a truth, a belief of mine. It's such a sad thing to witness a 13-year-old girl go from happily lying on her bed every night reading mystery novels to becoming a confused 16-year-old girl sitting at a desk every night, reading philosophy books to find the answers, in which teachers and parents could never possibly provide for her. The idea of someone finding him or herself has been around for ages. Take a year off of college and find yourself. Take a year off from dating and find yourself. Take to books and music and find yourself. Travel and you'll certainly find yourself. Everywhere one looks, one finds an uncertain soul, and if that one person has the privilege of being able to truly see, they'd be sure to find that the people's insecurities mostly have to do with the uncertainty in themselves. I'm in 11th grade. I'm in the 3rd year of high school. In 2 drawn-out years, I've come to the conclusion that my identity is one of the most important things to me, that creating and inventing and becoming myself is what matters. I've decided a short time ago that I yearn to be the greatest daughter, sister, and a friend that I can be. I decided that one day I pray to become the greatest wife and mother I could possibly be. And with this, I've decided that I long not only to become, but to remain and continue to be the greatest woman that I can be, the greatest woman that God intended me to be. One could argue their opinion and insist that things I've said are not important at all. Although their opinions are not important, they probably wouldn't matter to me. But they could argue it. The person could say, "You're young." I'd simply agree. And then I go so far to say, as love, I am a child. That is what it is. Are you ready?
My name is Kiana George, and this is what matters to me. Second chances. I am a survivor of peer pressure. If there is one lesson I have learned in the past year, it would be that who you are brought up around has a big impact on what your behavior is. My first year in high school was at New Bedford High. I came from New Bedford High with grades no higher than a D. I skipped all my classes, and I was constantly in conflicts with other females. I hung with the wrong crowd, and I found myself in situations I shouldn't be in. As I got myself together and moved to Fall River and started Durfee High School, I felt a big change in my behavior and how I reacted towards others. I stopped skipping classes, stopped fighting, my grades went up, and I met a lot of new friends. I stopped picking on others and gave respect to everyone. This school year, I joined many clubs, including Freedom Writers, and I participated in a lot of school activities. I now see that my behavior was based on what friends I hung with and how bad I tried to fit in. As the school year continues, I am going to continue to keep my head up and do the best that I can. I am going to show others respect as I would want to be respected. I will not fall to peer pressure again.
My name is Hailey Brabant, and this is what matters to me. She has faith in me. My mom has always had so much faith in me. All of my life, I've heard her tell people how brilliant I am, how musically inclined I am, that I'm a math genius, and all these things that I'm good at. I hated when my mom bragged about me, though. Some people might think I'm crazy because they wish they even had a parent to have faith in them, like my mom has in me. But the truth is, I've always put down on myself because I was so scared. What if I couldn't live up to all the things my mom believed I could do? What if I let her down? My mom is the only person that has ever believed I could do anything I set my mind to. She believes in me more than I ever believed in myself. I would never try my best. Usually I would try to just get by. I was petrified for my mom to feel that I let her down because I know that was one of the worst things to feel. For me to be the reason she would ever feel like that made everything so much harder. But there is a life lesson here. I've learned that for me to get better, I have to have faith in myself too. And I know I'll always have my mom to be there if something goes wrong. I would rather fail than not try at all. Knowing that someone will constantly be by my side, but will let me make my own mistakes, makes me live my life in a content fashion. And I love my mom for that.